Well, that one sucked. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed though in this one. But Rangers lose 4-2 to the Carolina Hurricanes. They came so close, and it just sucks because they had first place right in the palm of their hand, and they throw that away. It's a frustrating and disappointing loss. Overall, though, I'm not going to lose sleep with the way they played. I thought they played a very solid game. It just sucks that they couldn't end up winning it. That's all I could really say about that. But we're going to cover the entire game here. But before we do, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. We're finishing down the stretch here as it's almost playoff time already, which is crazy enough to think about. So definitely subscribe if you're Ranger fans, because you won't want to miss the content there. And then turn the notifications on so you know when I upload all these videos. But let's dive into the action here. This is my second take recording this because I ended up running out of space apparently. But opening 2 minutes were very slow. It was back and forth hockey. But then all of a sudden the Rangers, they kicked into another gear and they got some great chances. Panarin made a nice move through the neutral zone, and he couldn't get a good enough pass to Andrew Kopp on that nice move to end up bearing a chance. So that was unfortunate. But the Rangers, again, like I said, they got going. Miller then had a nice poke check to keep a shift going by the fourth line, who looked pretty good. Trocheck, though, on that same shift, had a clean look the other way. That got gloved by Igor. Still nothing there. Fox had a nice pass to Kopp in front of the net, but Slavin, he had a nice stick lift, so there was no shot on goal there, so that was unfortunate. Andrew Kopp probably buries that chance if he gets the opportunity. Can't talk right now. Second line then had a strong shift. You had three Rangers up by the Carolina net, and Strome got hooked. Nothing called, which pissed me off. And then how about Trouba and Miller offensively? They look great tonight. They had another great keep-in with the fourth line that got a shift going for them, but fourth line couldn't bury that. Reeves tried burying a chance, but he couldn't do that. Shea then ended up cross-checking Goody in the corner. We go to the power play, and the power play, nope, the first unit does nothing. Vetrano, though, at the very last second, he had a chance in front of the net, but Anderson gloved that with a clean look. So still scoreless game here. Jarvis then got a clean look as Braun went to who the hell knows where, and Igor kicked that one away, thankfully. And then the first line had a great shift, and Vetrano had to go back, though, the other way because Carolina had a rush coming back the other way on a counterattack, and he breaks up a nice play with a back check on Svechnikov. So that keeps the game scoreless. And then the third line had some scoring opportunities from Braun and Lafreniere. I know Braun's obviously on defense, not on the third line, but Braun was out there with that third line. They had a chance there. Vetrano then almost sent Kreider on a breakaway. You thought he was going to score 50 there, but the pass just went too far out that Kreider couldn't do anything there. So that was unfortunate, but Kreider does get 50 later in this game. But still, probably would have scored there. Pesci then went off for hooking. You had pretty much that power play. To sum up what happened, Mika had two good chances from the dot, and then Vetrano had another late chance at the end of the power play, and that was about it. And the period was scoreless. That was pretty much it for the first period. I thought that overall was a great high-paced period by both teams. I thought both teams played fast. I thought the Rangers slightly had the edge, though, in terms of who outplayed the other. I thought that they were pretty solid. But what kills the Rangers is the power play has not been converting lately. And I know people are not going to want to hear, oh, well, they're going to tell me, oh, Carolina has the best penalty kill in the league. Yeah, but you have the second best power play in the league, and to beat the best, you have to be the best. And I don't care. You have to convert on one of these power plays here. And the power play has looked bad lately. This isn't just like a one-off thing where, okay, Carolina's penalty kill, I'll play them. No, this is something where it's becoming a continuous habit. I can't talk. This is becoming a habit, though, and it's not good at all, and it's going to keep happening if they don't pick this up soon. Shots in that period, 14-8 in favor of the Rangers. Like I said, solid period. Second period, K'Andre Miller opens the scoring within a minute from Zibanejad and Vetrano. K'Andre had a great step up in the neutral zone. He made a great play, and then Mika had a nice pass to him up on the rush, and he buries that. Rangers go up 1-0. Then Vetrano takes he goes off for hooking not too long after that as he tried to defend Trocheck. And as Freddie was going to the bench, he decides to stick handle the puck. Sure. Aho had a solid chance on the power play, but overall, the Canes didn't get anything really else that was too good of a look, so the penalty was killed. Vetrano, though, coming out of the box, he had a scoring opportunity that hit off Freddie Anderson's shoulder. And that was a great pass by Kevin Rooney there, as he had a nice defensive play before that as well. Miller then with a nice defensive play on Jarvis. Miller looked pretty solid. He had another play in the corner in that same shift there, and that cleared the zone there. Panarin then with a wraparound. He tried, instead of burying that for whatever reason, he tries to throw it across the cop, and he couldn't bury that. I don't know why Panarin didn't just try to bury the wraparound. There are times where this year, I've said it, I'm beating a dead horse here, but Panarin just needs to be selfish and shoot the puck. Shoot the puck sometimes. Kakko then tried to score on a wraparound too. Couldn't there. Smith took a roughing penalty on Gaudreau. We went to the power play, and it did nothing again. The power play, useless. Useless. Then Gaudreau goes to the locker room after Smith cross-checked him in the head, and nothing called. Puck was nowhere near the play. Nothing called for whatever reason. And naturally, you knew it was going to happen. Carolina scores, and it is Svechnikov, and this was embarrassing. He scores off of Igor's leg from the corner. Fox with a abysmal back check on this play, by the way. But this scenario never should have happened. The Rangers should have been on the power play. And it's tied at 1. And this was the mistake I was talking about that ended up costing the Rangers the game, most likely. Yeah, you had some other mistakes, but to let them score there, embarrassing. Goody then was back on the bench not too long after. Rooney and Smith were chirping each other. Same with Stahl and Reeves in that same sequence. Not much action at the end of the period, but overall the Rangers looked a bit worse that period. But still, I thought they played a decent enough period to keep themselves in the game. It was 9-7, the shots for Carolina. We go to the third, and the Rangers just decided to fall asleep. And early in this period, Carolina scores only about a minute in, and Trouba goes, I don't know where he went, but just a boneheaded play by Trouba. Miller then looked lost, and Jarvis walks in. Mika tries to defend it. He can't. Jarvis walks in, filthy backhand, top cheddar, and 2-1 Carolina. I don't understand. I don't understand how Trouba and Miller make at least one of these mistakes every game, but it just happens. Igor then gloved the chance from Tony DeAngelo the next shift. Rangers just were looking lost offensively, though. They were looking lost. And then Carolina, they scored again. Jay took a shot that ended up getting blocked, but it ended up going right perfectly to Jordan Stahl. And he snipes one past Igor. And Fox, what is he doing there? No clue. But at the same time, Igor maybe should have came up with the save there. But again, I'm not going to be too harsh on him when the defense was lazy. So, right there, doesn't matter. 3-1 game. Miller then with a nice stick move. He weaved like crazy through the neutral zone, and that didn't matter as he hit the post. And stop me if you heard this before. Strome misses an open net on the rebound. Good one. Tony DeAngelo then goes off for slashing, and then, Ryan Strome, because he's making boneheaded decisions all night, takes a garbage hook in the offensive zone, 4-on-4, and they couldn't do anything there at the beginning of the power play. Thankfully, Carolina didn't score when they got that brief power play. Hunt then tried to score off the rush from Kreider, and there was 5 minutes left, and nothing. There was nothing. Vetrano then got pulled down by Niederreiter, and nothing was called there. Carolina, though, all the chances at the end. And then all of a sudden, the Rangers call their timeout. The net was empty, and Kreider scores his 50th of the year as he picks up a rebound in front of the net from Adam Fox. And Kopp also gets the assist there. Clean face-off win in the offensive zone there, and it is 3-2. Mika then had a shot that was denied, and then Aho scores the empty netter, 4-2. Carolina wins it. They hold on. Overall, I'm not too happy if they just showed up a bit earlier in the third. If they convert on the power plays, this isn't a big deal. If the refs don't miss a blatant cross-check to the face, it's a different story. If Igor comes up with that save that he needs to, it's a different story. If Fox wasn't lazy, different story. But overall, I'm not going to lose sleep over this. I thought they played a very competitive game at the end of the day. But let's get into each individual line. The first line being Kreider, Zibanejad, Vatrano. I thought that was the best line of the night. I thought Vatrano looked really, really good. Vatrano had, let's see, how many shots on goal? He had 5. Sucks that he couldn't bury an opportunity, but he looked really good tonight. Kreider, of course, getting his 50th. He looked good. And Zibanejad, he had 5 shots on goal. Again, he snake bit. Someone needs to tell him that it's March so he starts scoring again. For the second line, I thought the second line was okay. That being Panarin, Strome, and Copp. Strome, awful. Copp and Panarin, I thought, had solid games. Panarin, though, there were too many times where he was turning the puck over, in my opinion. But Strome, he was atrocious tonight. He was atrocious. Then missed another open net. It's the same old story. Third line being Lafreniere, Gaudreau, and Kakko. I don't like it. I don't like it. They didn't get enough ice time, so it was hard to judge, but I didn't like it. I think that they should have got a bit more ice time, maybe see something. But at the same time, only 2 of the guys look good on that line, that being Lafreniere and Gaudreau. Kakko has not looked great since coming back. I'm going to give him a bit more time before I start being super critical, because I know he just got back from his injury, but he's looking very slow. And then the fourth line being Reeves, Rooney, and Hunt. They were okay. Not much to say there. They had a couple good shifts, but that's about it. And then for the defense, Lindgren and Fox, I thought they were okay. Lindgren, I thought, had a solid game. Fox, he was lazy on some of these back checks, but offensively, he had a solid game. Miller and Trouba, great offensive game. Boneheaded decision by Trouba on one of those goals. But outside of that, they had a solid game overall. Especially Miller. I thought Miller had a pretty good game, but Trouba just dumb decision. And then for Braun and Schneider, Braun had that one missed defensive play, but other than that, they were the best defensive pair, in my opinion, tonight. And then Igor, he had a bit of a rough night in terms of some of the goals he let up. But overall, they lose this one 4-2. Let's get to Twitter's. We have a lot to cover. NYR10 says, what was your reaction when Kreider scored his 50th goal? I wasn't as hyped as I would have been otherwise. It didn't matter. The game was over. I was drained from the way that game played out. So overall, I wasn't too thrilled, to be completely honest. Well, I was happy for him. Of course, they scored the 50th, but I wasn't, jumping out of my chair, going crazy over him scoring his 50th because they didn't win the game. But overall, for him, I'm happy. Hopefully he breaks Yager's record, and hopefully he plays this way in the playoffs. But that's about it in terms of that. Kazoo missed calls on the Rangers. Fell asleep in the third period. But before that, solid game both offensively and defensively. Completely agree with that. The third period was a nightmare. And that's another example where they have to start playing these full 60 minutes. And if they convert on the power play, different animal. If those missed calls didn't happen like you mentioned, different animal. But overall, yeah, that's a perfect assessment that I agree with. Bet the Chef says anticlimactic 50th. Yep, pretty much there. New York Style 24. I'm disappointed, but hey, stuff happens. At least we clinched the playoffs last game and Kreider hit 50. Canes are just so good. I guess I agree with that. I mean, not much to say. They played a decent enough game. So, Mika the Cried says, let Carolina have Tampa. Kreider has 50. Rough game for Stromer. Next game should be better. I disagree still with this narrative amongst Ranger fans that, oh, let's just not get first place because we don't want to face Boston or Tampa Bay. Such an awful narrative. Such an awful narrative. Wouldn't you rather have home ice for most of the playoffs? Wouldn't you rather play Tampa Bay before they heat up in the playoffs? Wouldn't you rather all of that? And also, is Pittsburgh really this easy out that people are claiming to be? Yeah, we beat them more times in the regular season, but that doesn't mean anything in the playoffs, as we learned the hard way. I don't like that narrative, and I don't like that attitude personally from some Ranger fans. I'm sorry. You can have your opinion, but at the end of the day, I do not like that narrative at all. And last we got from Black Dog RVA says, credit to Carolina in the third period. They played what I like to call a smoother defense. Not a lot of room out there. But the story here is Chris goddamn motherfucking Kreider and this resilient New York Rangers team. No W tonight, but still lots to celebrate. Cheers, Python. I agree with that. I think that's the right attitude to have after this one. I think that, again, this was a good enough game for me, but as long as they don't play like they did in the third period ever again. Tomorrow you go up against Philly. I want you to beat the literal living shit out of them. That's going to be it for me, though. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Ranger fans. Turn notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.